$31 billion. Gone because of one machine Kodak built and then hid from the world. This is the story of Kodak, and the reason it died is not what you think. For 100 years, Kodak owned photography. Not part of it. All of it. Every memory passed through their film. By 1976, Kodak sold 90% of America's film and 85% of its cameras. Total domination. The phrase Kodak moment entered the language. Kodak owned the business of memory itself. And the money was absurd. Film cost pennies to make and sold at markups competitors could only dream about. Kodak earned roughly 70 cents of profit on every dollar of film. It was a license to print money. At its height, Kodak employed over 120,000 people. Then a junior engineer broke the future wide open. December 1975. Stephen Sasson, 24 years old, wired together a toaster-sized contraption in a Kodak back lab. It weighed 8 pounds, captured 100 by 100 pixels, and needed 23 seconds to record one image. It was the world's first digital camera. No film, no paper, no chemicals, and Kodak owned the patent. Sasson demonstrated it to executives. Their response became legend. "That's cute, but don't tell anyone about it." Understand what filmless photography threatened. Every dollar Kodak made flowed through film. This machine made film obsolete. So Kodak locked away the future because the present was too profitable. But it gets worse. In 1981, Kodak's own head of market intelligence, Vince Baraba, ran a massive study on digital photography. The study's conclusion: digital would replace film. Kodak had roughly 10 years to prepare. The forecast proved dead accurate. Kodak had the invention, the patents, the warning, and a decade of lead time. What they did next defies belief. Here's the twist most people miss. Kodak didn't ignore digital. They spent billions on it, and still lost everything. In 1988, they bought Sterling Drug for $5.1 billion, a pharmaceutical company. A total distraction. In 1989, the board chose its next chief executive, a film traditionalist, over the company's leading digital advocate. Chief Executive George Fisher later admitted Kodak saw digital photography as the enemy, an evil juggernaut that would kill film. They spent over $500 million on Advantix, a camera that was digital but still printed on film. Customers were baffled. Why preview digitally, then pay to print anyway? Advantix flopped. Meanwhile, Sasson's world arrived right on schedule. Digital cameras got cheap, then good, then everywhere. Film sales peaked around 2000, then collapsed. Kodak's fortress of 70% margins was burning to the ground. Here's the cruelest irony. By 2005, Kodak sold more digital cameras in America than anyone else. But digital cameras carried razor-thin margins. Kodak was winning a market that paid almost nothing to win. Then smartphones arrived, and even that prize evaporated. The camera stopped being a product. It became a feature. The numbers turned brutal. $40 stock in 2003, below 80 cents by 2012. January 2012, Kodak filed for bankruptcy, 131 years old, worth $140 million. 3 months later, Instagram, a photo company with 13 employees and 0 factories, sold for $1 billion. And Fujifilm? Kodak's rival saw the same collapse coming, pivoted hard, and survived. Thrived, even. In 2009, the White House awarded Steven Sasson the National Medal of Technology for the camera Kodak hid. Kodak's failure wasn't blindness. They saw the future first. They simply loved their margins more than their mission. The lesson: the most dangerous moment for any empire is when protecting today pays better than building tomorrow. Kodak invented the future, then buried it. Sunk cost tells the stories of empires that bet wrong. Subscribe for next week's collapse.